Well, now it's time to get a little bit sentimental.
Who here has wanted to literally strangle a family member?
Well, I don't think that's Wenji's vibe for today, because sometimes it's true that you have to love those that you have been forced to stick up by blood.
Hola,
Hola,
mami.
mami. Let's hear Wenji's take on this.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I'm here to talk about a global pandemic. Not the pandemic that led us to wear this face mask, but a greater pandemic that has existed for a long time. Since a very young age, I was separated from my parents. They had to work, and they couldn't take care of me while working, so I was sent to China to live with my grandparents. I didn't get to live with my parents until I came to Spain in grade 7. At the beginning, it wasn't easy for me to get accustomed to the family. My mom in particular is a really hardworking person. She's strict with herself, she has her own goals, and she's often irritable because of this high working pressure. I remember that she will take her frustration out on me and scold me for ridiculous reasons. So after that day, my name changed. I was renamed as the family punching bag. Traditional Chinese families expect the elder siblings to be more responsible. Parents will usually treat the younger ones better, and they often get more protected. This tradition has been passed in my family as well. For some reason, I thought this was a good tradition, though it could help me to get closer to my brother and to recognize some of my responsibilities. Just like me believing that Spider-Man was real, I was naive. Expectation has always been a fantasy. So I was really confused. I felt like I didn't belong to the family, like there was a border between me and my family. Certainly, it was like a pandemic, making us distancing ourselves from each other. I'm sure that we all have experienced this once in our life. I started to ignore them every day. I locked myself in a room, and I refused to talk with them. By that time, friends and work had taken a more important role in my life. But then suddenly, something happened which would not change my life, but the life of everyone. Huge numbers started appearing in the news. Those numbers that increased day by day, those numbers that determine people's life. Those futuristic movies about surviving in a pandemic have now become a reality, a realistic nightmare. It was the first time in my life that I felt death so close to me. Every day, there was sad news from neighbors and friends around me. I began to realize how serious the situation was. The arrival of the pandemic meant that everyone had to stay at home in quarantine. So having contact with my parents became something inevitable. Unlike what I had imagined, my family became my only support in those times when everyone was at risk. Those discussions that we used to have were slowly becoming an indispensable part of our life. Different parents love their children in a different way. For instance, Asian parents are not generally used to show their emotions. They like to show their affection in silence, buying me things I like and supporting me to do things I enjoyed. Back then, I didn't really understand why they chose to leave me in China. But since I saw them working from 9 a.m. to 1 a.m., I gradually started to understand the pressure of being an adult. As every Asian parent, my parents always wanted the best for me. They had high expectations of me, so they tried to carry the burden of the whole family as far as they were able to. But when we were in quarantine, Mom always said that she was less tired. And Dad started to smoke less and less. It was at that time that I realized that everyone was contributing what they had to the family. In some way, I wish we could maintain this situation. But life went on. The pandemic started to ease up a little bit, and my parents were finally able to go back to work. Those quarrels that I had with them didn't go away. The difference was that I started to see things from their point of view. I tried to understand what they were thinking. The theme of our talk today is world citizens. In my mind, world citizens represent all of us sitting here, every single one of us in the world. Whatever culture and generation we come from, family relationships are really the same. They transcend boundaries. Sometimes we might not understand them because of this generation gap, but whenever we need them, they'll always be there for us. Time passes and our parents grow old. Unfortunately, it is when we part that we realize how much each other means to us. And 17 years have passed and I finally realized that I won't have as much time to spend with them in the future. I'll be studying abroad, so I really hope that we can all spend more time with our family when we are able to, even if it's just for a meal or a chat. It took a pandemic for my family and I to reconnect and to appreciate and value each other. For others, it may take longer. But with this 5-minute talk, I wish I could make everyone reflect on this topic, and I hope that we can all get along with our family. No matter where you're from, no matter whether you are English or American or Lithuanian or Spanish, pick up the phone and contact with people you love and make them remember that they are important to you. Thank you all for listening. Thank you.